Judah, one of the 12 sons of Jacob, felt different from his brothers. While they sought prosperity and leadership among the tribes, Judah longed for something deeper, a connection beyond the family borders. After many years living with his brothers, Judah decided to settle in Adullam, a town in Canaan, far from the shadow of his family. The farewell was bittersweet. His brothers embraced him, but their gazes were filled with a mix of sadness and concern. "Take care, Judah. May God guide you on this new journey," said Simeon, his eldest brother. Judah nodded, feeling the weight of expectations and the desire to build something for himself. Adullam was prosperous and offered opportunities that he believed would lead to personal and spiritual growth. Not long after arriving, Judah met Sua, a respected man in the community. Sua had a daughter named Tamar, a young woman of serene beauty and strong spirit. Their meeting was facilitated by a mutual friend, and soon Judah and Tamar developed a friendship based on mutual respect and admiration. "Tamar, your wisdom and grace are remarkable. I'm certain you will be a great part of my family," Judah said during a dinner at his house. Tamar smiled modestly, appreciating Judah's words, but also feeling the responsibility that would come with their union. After some time, Judah felt it was the right moment to formalize his commitment to Tamar. With Sua's consent, they arranged the marriage, a common practice at the time to strengthen alliances and ensure the continuity of family lines. The wedding was celebrated with great joy. Both families gathered, exchanging blessings and wishes for happiness. Tamar, despite being a new member of Judah's family, showed herself to be a dedicated wife, ready to face the challenges ahead. "May this marriage be blessed, bringing prosperity and harmony to our families," Judah declared during the ceremony. Judah and Tamar were blessed with 3 sons. Heir, the eldest, was a strong and determined boy, quickly standing out among his brothers. Onan, the second, had an introspective and curious spirit, always questioning the world around him. Shelah, the youngest, was playful and affectionate, bringing joy to the family. Judah watched his sons grow with pride, each one showing unique characteristics and talents. "My sons are my greatest accomplishment," Judah reflected, watching them play in the courtyard of their home. As the years passed, heir reached adulthood, and Judah decided it was time to arrange a marriage for his eldest son. Tamar, a respected young woman from the region, was chosen to become his wife. The wedding preparations were meticulous, reflecting the importance of this union for the family. Heir's family prepared gifts and organized ceremonies to honor Tamar, who, in turn, adjusted to the new responsibilities that came with the marriage. "May you find happiness and companionship in this union," wished Heir's mother, gently holding Tamar's hand. On the day of the wedding, Heir and Tamar met for the first time as husband and wife. Tamar, dressed in fine clothes and adorned with simple jewelry, observed Heir with curious eyes. Heir, on the other hand, seemed somewhat impatient, eager to start his new life. "I'm glad you are here, Tamar. Together, we'll build something great," Heir said, trying to show enthusiasm. Tamar smiled gently, hoping that over time their relationship would grow into something harmonious. The first days of marriage were challenging for Tamar. Heir had a difficult temperament, often distant and disinterested in household responsibilities. Tamar, used to a more structured life, felt isolated and overwhelmed. "Heir, we need to talk about the house's duties," Tamar tried, hoping for a positive response. But Heir, impatient, responded with disdain. "I'm busy, Tamar. Now is not the time for this." This frustration began to create growing tension between them. Over time, Heir's behavior worsened. He became increasingly disrespectful and neglectful of his responsibilities. Tamar tried to adapt, but the lack of support and understanding made her life difficult. "Heir, we need to solve this together," Tamar pleaded one quiet evening. Heir just ignored her, turning away to his room without a word. Heir's wickedness did not go unnoticed by the Lord. Although the Bible does not specify the details of his actions, his conduct greatly displeased God, leading to his early death. Judah, devastated by the loss of his son, realized there was something beyond human control. He felt that Heir's death was divine punishment for his actions. God saw what was done and decided to intervene. Judah lamented, consoling Tamar. With Heir's death, Tamar found herself a childless widow, a lamentable situation in Hebrew culture, where the continuation of the family line was crucial. Judah, concerned about Tamar's future and preserving the family, decided to act according to the law of levirate. "Tamar, don't worry. We will find a way to ensure you have descendants," Judah promised, trying to comfort her. Judah explained to Tamar the importance of the levirate law, which required the brother of the deceased to marry the widow to produce offspring in the name of the deceased brother. This practice was essential to ensure the family's lineage and inheritance. "Onan, your brother, must fulfill this responsibility. It is his duty to the family and to God," Judah explained to Tamar. Onan, Judah's second son, was called to fulfill the duty of marrying Tamar. Though reluctant, he accepted the order, understanding the importance of his responsibility. "I will do what is necessary to honor our family," Onan affirmed, though his expression revealed hesitation. The marriage between Onan and Tamar was tense. Onan was not truly willing to fulfill his duty, and Tamar felt the pressure of her new situation. The first nights together were silent, filled with discomfort and distrust. "Onan, we need to understand each other and work together for the sake of the family." Tamar tried to initiate a conversation. Onan, however, remained distant, making it clear that he had other priorities. Despite lying with Tamar, Onan deliberately avoided producing children. He was aware that any offspring would be considered heirs, not his. Thus, Onan spilled his semen on the ground, frustrating the purpose of the levirate law. Tamar, noticing Onan's behavior, felt frustrated and powerless. She knew her position was unsustainable without children. "Onan, please, fulfill your duty. Our family needs you," Tamar implored, but Onan remained defiant. Onan's disobedience did not escape God's notice. His refusal to fulfill his family duty was not only an affront to tradition, but also to divine will. As with Heir, God decided to intervene. Soon after, Onan fell gravely ill and died, leaving Tamar a widow once again. Judah, devastated and perplexed by Onan's death, began to doubt the promises he had made earlier. How can this happen again? Perhaps Tamar is the source of our misfortune, Judah reflected, worried about the future of his family. With Onan's death, Judah promised Tamar that when his youngest son, Shelah, was old enough, he would marry her. However, Judah was reluctant to fulfill this promise, fearing for Shelah's safety and haunted by the previous deaths. "Tamar, when Shelah grows up, he will be your husband. But for now, return to your father's house and wait," Judah said, with a look of uncertainty. Judah feared that, like his brothers before him, Shelah might also meet a tragic fate. The loss of Heir and Onan left him cautious and hesitant to give Tamar his only remaining son. Tamar, though confident in the promise, began to sense Judah's hesitation and the possibility that the promise would go unfulfilled. "Judah, I trust you. Do what is right and fulfill your word," Tamar said, trying to keep faith in the promise made. Tamar returned to her father's house, where she remained under her family's care while waiting for Shelah to grow up. During this period, She lived with dignity, but also with the constant concern of not knowing whether Judah would keep his promise. Years passed, and Shelah grew up, but Judah never took concrete steps to fulfill his promise. Tamar, observing Judah's inaction, began to feel helpless and hopeless about ever having children in the traditional way. If Judah will not fulfill his promise, what remains for me? How can I secure my place in the family and my future? Tamar thought, anguished. Determined not to lose her position in the family, Tamar decided to take control of her own destiny. She knew she had to ensure her lineage continued, even if it meant challenging social and cultural norms. Tamar dressed in modest clothing, covering her face with a veil. She knew that to encounter Judah, she would need to disguise herself so that he wouldn't recognize her immediately. If I want justice in the future, I must act with wisdom and caution, Tamar reflected as she prepared for her plan. Tamar knew that Judah was on his way to Timnah to shear his sheep. This was the perfect opportunity to meet him without raising suspicion. She positioned herself along a busy road, watching Judah and his servants approach with their flock. When Judah passed by, he noticed Tamar, who was in disguise, and without recognizing his daughter-in-law, he approached her with curiosity. "Hello, woman. Where are you headed?" Judah asked, maintaining a friendly posture. Tamar, maintaining her disguise, answered cautiously, "I am on my way to Timnah to shear sheep. Are you going there as well?" Judah nodded, seeing an opportunity to talk further. Judah, wanting to show generosity, offered Tamar a young goat in exchange for her services. However, since he didn't have the goat with him at the moment, Tamar asked for a guarantee that she would receive the promised goat. "I understand, but you do not have the goat right now. How about leaving your seal, your cord, and your staff as collateral?" Tamar suggested. Judah agreed, handing over his seal, cord, and staff, not realizing they were his own personal belongings. Judah and Tamar spent the night together, resulting in Tamar's conception. After the encounter, Tamar removed her disguise and returned discreetly to her father's house, carrying Judah's belongings as proof of their encounter. Some time later, Tamar's pregnancy became evident. Judah, unaware of the truth behind the events, judged that Tamar had engaged in indecent acts and ordered that she be punished. "Bring her here. She must be burned for her dishonor," Judah decreed, outraged. When Tamar was brought before Judah to be punished, she presented the items Judah had left with her as proof of their encounter and of the paternity of the child. "I am pregnant by the man who owns these items. See, I return to you the seal, the cord, and the staff," Tamar declared with calm confidence. Judah, recognizing the items, realized the truth and the injustice of his accusation. Before everyone, Judah admitted his mistake and acknowledged that Tamar was more righteous than he. "She is more righteous than I, for I did not give her to Shelah, my son," Judah declared, ashamed of his actions. Tamar gave birth to twin sons, Perez and Zerah, ensuring the continuity of Judah's lineage. Perez, in particular, became an important figure in the biblical genealogy, being a direct ancestor of King David and, eventually, Jesus Christ. Perez plays a significant role in biblical history, symbolizing redemption and the continuation of the messianic line. His inclusion in the genealogy of Jesus reinforces the idea that God uses complex and challenging circumstances to fulfill his purposes. The story of Onan and Tamar is rich in lessons about justice, responsibility, and the importance of fulfilling family and social duties. It highlights how individual actions can have profound consequences and how divine justice can restore balance when humanity fails.